It's Madden NFL 23. Coming up next, we'll see Dallas Goedert. He just crossed the century mark last week with 102 yards. It's the Eagles and the Commanders, and it's coming right up on EA Sports.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Commanders. Brandon Gaudin alongside my broadcast partner Charles Davis. And CD, our quarterbacks taking center stage here for each of their respective offenses. Jalen Hurts of the Eagles, Carson Wentz of the Commanders.
And both of them have terrific ability to improvise. And that means when the first read's not there, how quickly can you go through your progressions? Can you hang in there and take a shot as you release it? Can you buy time outside of the pocket? Can you pull it down and run if need be? I think we'll see all of those traits on display in this one.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. Fielded just outside the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Now, for the first time, we get to see this Philadelphia offense led out by their dual-threat quarterback now in his 3rd season, Jalen Hurts.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there was also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Hurts throwing right away. And right away, he lost the football. But I believe it was covered by an Eagle. It was. And Philadelphia is going to hold on to the football. The fumble on first down now. Here's second down. They'll set up to throw. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. The quick slant, good for a first down, a gain of 12.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Hurts gets this to Sanders. So the completion good for 7 there. And it's second down. The Eagles hit 2-0 here to begin the season. They come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 31-yard line. Throwing is Hurts. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line.
Let's go now.
They will run for the first time with Miles Sanders. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Eagles get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Well, these guys scored touchdown after touchdown in that win a week ago. So how do they come out this week? Same way. They got that momentum going, a touchdown on the opening drive.
I think it's safe to say that they're in a groove, isn't it? I mean, a lot of times we've seen where teams have scored a ton of points the week before. The very next week struggle to score almost as if they used it all up. Not in this case. This group appears locked in.
And we're going to have to make some adjustments if you're on the other side of that football. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Commanders trot to the field for their first possession, and it's the seventh-year quarterback out of North Dakota State leading the way. His third NFL team, Carson Wentz.
And there was a positive in last week's loss. No interceptions thrown by him. But he only threw one touchdown pass, and you know he wants that to improve. He might even consider that as part of the reason that they couldn't take the win last time out. I believe we'll see a more aggressive version of him this week whenever they're nearing the end zone.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
Yeah, and this time it's going to come from the middle linebacker because watching the lineman, it seemed to me that they thought he was going to drop back into pass protection, but he surprised them and came on the blitz instead and had a pretty clear run to the quarterback.
Throwing on second and long. Wentz looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were in nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. On the counter now, it's Sanders. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That's a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the...
And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. Montez Sweat, the man that time to fight in and drop him. So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here, 3rd and long. He's going to drop this down to Sanders. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to about the 19. So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Commanders going to retake the field for drive number 2. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. T.J. Edwards. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. Now Wentz on 3rd down. He's going to float this one deep right side. Oh, wide open, complete. Touchdown, Washington. Jahan Dotson. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Commanders are back within a score. I tell you, when Carson Wentz can really step into one and get that 6'5" frame behind it, he can really launch it.
And that is absolutely demoralizing for a defense because you've got the offense on the ropes. It's 3rd down. You're trying to get off the field and then wham. You have a letdown in the secondary, and you give up a big one.
Yeah, and you see the final number there on how far that ball traveled. Pretty impressive. The extra point by Sly is up and good, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. So here are the Eagles to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. That is caught. It's the tight end Goddard. And they work this well upfield across the 45. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. This one complete down the field to Goddard. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 26 big yards on that one. It's another first down. They'll set up a throw. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Again, he'll drop to throw. And it's knocked away and incomplete. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions. Have a look at it, 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw again. This is Smith with a grab. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. (10-7) our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession as they go to work on a 1st and goal. They'll run with Sanders, and a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Hurts. And he is out of bounds here. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4.
He didn't like what he saw downfield, decided his best course of action was to take off and run. And that ended up being a gamble that did not pay off for him. Now they would have to gamble again if they want to keep this series going.
Hold it ready.
On the sneak, it's Hurts, and he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. The sneak successful from a yard out, and the Eagles' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. 4th and goal, and they just tell the leader of this offense to sneak it in there, and he got it done.
Yeah, all you're trying to do is follow the wedge that's created in front of you. Center, guards, tackles. Just get low, fire out, and you get low right behind them and get it over the goal line.
Elliott now to add the extra point. It's good to make it 17-7. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it was capped off by the quarterback sneak for 6. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Some good games coming up here in Week 3, the first weekend of fall officially. And tonight, the Niners and Broncos from Denver. 49er fans are probably saying, wait, I thought we were done with Russell Wilson. No, they'll see him tonight. And then on Monday night, Cowboys and Giants from MetLife Stadium kicking off at 8:15 Eastern. Now a 1,000-yard rusher, a season to go. Antonio Gibson with it. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They give him 16 yards there, and it's a Washington first down. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Wentz. Throw right side complete to Dotson. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. A big game here for Carson Wentz. He mostly got cheers. Some boos smattered in when he was announced before the game. But 35-32-1 was Wentz in his 5 years as the Phillies starter. His best year, and you remember that one. Touchdown, Washington! Antonio Gibson. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Commanders have cut it back within a score. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. On 3rd down, they'll run it with Sanders. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. They'll try and throw for it with Hurts. Over the middle to Smith. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So not only do they convert on 4th, but they pick up 22 yards in the process. They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. Sanders has it over the middle. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw again. Smith brings it in, going across the middle. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 20-yard line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That's swung out wide to Sanders. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 4 yards on the play. That's going to lead to 1st and goal. Another run with Sanders. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year, as his guys are able to extend their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays. And it was Miles Sanders who finished it off with a touchdown run. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here comes the Commanders' offense back onto the field. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive, so we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a while.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. Boy, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And now they start in plus territory following that turnover as they'll try to get some points here before halftime. But 1st down, Hurts. Over the middle, complete. That's Sanders. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. And quickly they get to the line. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. And once again, this is Sanders. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. Throwing again on 2nd down. Hurts. Now, a quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Hurts sets up to throw it. And this is going to be intercepted. And the Commanders are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Time to give you folks at home a look around the NFL on this first official weekend of fall. So let's get to it. We'll kick things off in Charlotte, an NFC South matchup pitting New Orleans against Carolina. And it's the Saints who have the lead in the 2nd quarter. 2 touchdown passes there for Jameis Winston. From there, it's off to Chicago. Check on the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And this one going the visitors' way as the Texans have the lead in that one. A touchdown pass there for Davis Mills. Finally, let's get to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And they trail the visiting Chiefs in that one. Patrick Mahomes, 4 touchdown passes. Time now for a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Eagles. And they've definitely been able to exploit some holes in that opposing secondary, as they threw for close to 200 yards in those first 2 quarters. Meanwhile, for Washington, we check on their numbers on the ground in the first half, as they know they'll need to be better to overcome this halftime deficit. Both teams currently making their final adjustments. We're getting ready for the second half. So we'll send it back up to FedEx Field and hand things back over to Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. The Washington offense ready to go to begin the 3rd quarter. All in all, pretty manageable deficit, Charles, here as they start this 3rd quarter offensively when you consider the fact that in the first 2 quarters, they had 2 costly turnovers.
I think you laid it out there perfectly, partner. Very tough to hold a lead going into the break if you continue to hand it over on multiple drives.
Yeah, and obviously, Charles, it would be very tough to climb back into the game if those turnovers continue.
I would say borderline impossible. You keep turning it over, I don't know how you make up a deficit.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
Not to take him for granted, but it was business as usual for Terry McLaurin, up over 1,000 yards for the 2nd straight year. Now he gets to work with Carson Wentz in Washington, and maybe the best receiver Wentz has had to throw to is in top.
On Wentz is intercepted yet again. Picked up by James Bradbury. Tough one there. First drive of the 3rd quarter, throw an interception, and now a chance that they could be in even a bigger hole if they can convert this into points.
Yeah, but how good do you feel if you're that defensive coordinator right now? Because you just know that the head coach looked at him and said, turn him loose, big man. And he'd be able to take a few extra chances playing with this type of a lead, and boy, it paid off.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Hurts to throw. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. Sanders here as they run out of the gun. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. On 3rd and short. They'll try option left. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards. They're going on 4th down with Hurts. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And the Commanders come through with a 4th down stand. So they'd converted their first 2 4th down attempts, not there. Now they're 2 for 3.
You think maybe the offense coordinator expended a little capital on that one? You know, when you're 2 for 2, you can lobby for that 3rd one, right? Didn't get it there. Maybe now the head coach might not be so eager to go for it as we go forward.
Here's Gibson to start the drive. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Throwing is Wentz. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here's Tressway now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Taken in at the 22. We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. A kind of a lucky break on the prior drive, Charles. The turnover on downs that the offense had didn't come back to bite them after the other side. Their defense came through, was able to hold them without any points.
I would agree with you, partner. A little bit of a lucky break indeed, but you know what they'd say to us? No luck, just pure skill. We rose to the challenge, and we didn't permit a score. That's how we roll.
Well, I'm kind of curious, Charles, if they might temper their aggressiveness now offensively if they get in that 4th down spot again.
Yeah, one would think so, but maybe because they held them, they might go for it again.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And that's complete to Sanders. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Holding offense.
Why are we doing this?
He's trying to protect his quarterback's blind side. Got nabbed for the hold.
You have one job over there. Make sure that man does not get hit. So if you have to hold occasionally, do so because they don't catch all of them. This time they did.
And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Off the play fake, here's Hurts. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
As soon as he leaped down, began his route. Someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. That's Daron Payne with a sack that time. The Eagles send out their punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Gibson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. On the draw, it's Gibson. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Slings this deep from McLaurin, and that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. Here's Tressway now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something we haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Back now at FedEx Field. It's the Eagles in possession of the football and leading this one as we get ready to start the final quarter. Hurts gets this to Sanders. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that'll make it 2nd down. Throwing is Hurts. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Smith. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 43. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. The Sanders has got it complete. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. Hurts a handoff to Sanders. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. They'll set up to throw. Oh, no, he lost the football. 2nd time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
Right back to Sanders on 1st down. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders taking it in from the 20. And the Eagles are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. An important score there, CD, and now an important extra point because it would make it a 3-score game.
Love the math there, and at this point in the 4th quarter, look, we all need next-gen stats, right? We all use them, but we don't need them here, do we? Because that means it's almost a certain victory.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Wentz bringing the Commanders up for 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Working from the gun, Wentz. Off to Thomas on the left side. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. To throw is Wentz. There again is Thomas. They've gone to him a lot. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. Working with 2nd and 5 now. Wentz. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Washington on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Throwing now is Wentz. And he finds McLaurin. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. Wentz to throw again. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. But here in the fourth quarter, defensively, you know that you're just going to blanket the field with defensive backs and say, okay, take your best shot. And that time, it's intercepted.
And we've often seen teams go into the prevent early, way too early, and sometimes they get too soft in their coverages, but not in this case. They understood the situation and played it with the proper aggression.
It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, second down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding, keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Hurts. And that will be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a fourth down. Well done.
Now on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. It's taken to the 20. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Eagles have recovered. And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. Now it looks like he'll throw here. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. A.J. Brown, 35 yards. And the Eagles are closing in on a third straight victory to start the campaign. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
Elliott Good with a PAT. And the lead is now 24. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One play drive and into the end zone for 6. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Now they got to get to the line quickly. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down.
We're good.
They sack him back at the 33-yard line. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Now Wentz, gotta have this one. He's going to take another shot here. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points. So up comes Wentz as he and the guys on offense here will go for 2. They'll look to throw. He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. There's a great example right there.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. And they take a knee. And for the visitors, it is going to be a happy flight home. It is always such a treat, Charles, in the NFL when you can go on the road and get a victory, and that's exactly what they accomplished here today.
Oh, the trip home so much sweeter, isn't it? All the noise they heard before, how tough it is to win on the road, how tough it is to play in this stadium, how hyped up that crowd's going to be. They just used it as fuel, came in full confidence, believed in themselves, and got it done.
So for Philadelphia, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll return home next week to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for Washington, they'll fall